A story that went viral among the left because they love the narrative and they don't care for the facts. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Moderates and conservatives have a healthier news diet than the left does. Left-wing media is collapsing, it's becoming desperate, and people are getting fed up. Perhaps people on the left should wake up and start doing a better job. Here's the story. They claimed Trump rallies increased hate crimes by 226%. Huh. Now, you may ask yourself, Tim, I love opening this way, by the way. How is it that Tim is rarely wrong on these stories? Well, first of all, I used credible sources that sometimes are wrong, okay? However, you might ask why I got Covington right, why I've gotten the Amazon fires correct, and why now this story? Well, it's simple. I just wait. When the story came out, I said something's missing. This doesn't make sense. And I'll wait until like the next morning or so, and here we go. Yesterday afternoon, the Trump rallies didn't have any impact. When they controlled the population, guess what? 0% increase. It was just a narrative that Trump was rallying white supremacy or some other nonsense. And it's just not true. Let's read the story from Reason. No, Trump rallies didn't increase hate crimes by 226%. In fact, they didn't have any detectable impact at all. They say in the aftermath of August's mass shooting in El Paso, a cursory glance at the news might have left you with the impression there were two villains that day, the white supremacist who killed 22 people, and President Donald Trump, who supposedly incited him. Quote, the president cannot be absolved of responsibility for inciting the hatreds that led to El Paso, reads a New York Times piece. Democratic presidential contenders echoed this sentiment, with Beto O'Rourke saying Trump's rhetoric has a lot to do with the shooting, and Kamala Harris alleging that Trump was tweeting out the ammunition used by the El Paso shooter. Sure. Blaming the words of controversial politicians for the acts of terrorists and lunatics without hard evidence is not new. However, a recent academic paper reported on by numerous outlets before it went through the peer review process suggests that Trump actually is to blame. Studying the effects of Trump's many campaign rallies on reported hate incidents, 3 professors at the University of North Texas and Texas A&M, Eyal Feinberg, Regina Branton, and Valerie Martinez-Ebers claim that Trump rallies are associated with a 226% increase in such incidents. Naturally, their study went viral. Vox, The Washington Post, the San Francisco Chronicle, and CNN all published articles reporting that Trump's words are so bad that exposure to them leads to a wave of hate crimes. Isn't it funny? These are your typical contenders in knee-jerk responses to incomplete data. The Washington Post once fabricated a story. I've called that out before. They once refused to correct when they published fake information about Project Veritas. Look, you don't got to be a fan of any of these people. You don't got to be a fan of the Post or Veritas. The fact is, the Post published lies. CNN? Don't get me started on CNN. Don Lemon did a black hole swallow an airplane? Oh, give me a break, dude. But I love highlighting it because it's the most absurd thing you probably ever heard. But of course, the study comes out and they just immediately go, oh, look, it's proof. There it is. And everybody wiggles their arms in the air screeching about Trump. Once again, Democratic politicians piled on. Your language creates a climate which emboldens violent extremists, wrote Senator Bernie Sanders in a social media post. Your rhetoric is directly and indirectly inciting hate, Mr. President. Well, listen, Trump hasn't gone so far as to claim there are concentration camps on the border like Ocasio-Cortez has. And if you want to play this game of it's their fault, we'll play the same game of it's Ocasio-Cortez's fault that people are attacking ICE facilities. There have been, I believe now, 5 or 6 immigration facilities, not all ICE, that were attacked by people. The dude in Tacoma showed up with firebombs and a gun, echoed her rhetoric. Am I going to blame her for it? Just a little bit. Does Trump deserve blame? Well, just a little bit, okay? They're not inciting it. They're just talking about their opinions. If someone goes crazy, it's the crazy person's fault. But what do you think comes next? Here's the difference. Trump talks boastfully about where we've always been. Okay, you had Democratic politicians saying the same thing as him. You're going to blame him? Okay, then blame Bernie Sanders, who still defends border security. Ocasio-Cortez, however, I think has taken it one step further. I do believe that when you talk and you say things about certain groups, people will get riled up. It's a fact. Is it the politicians' fault? No, they're expressing their opinions. I think AOC is making a huge mistake, and I have also criticized Trump in the past. But we don't need to play this game. We don't. Let's get to the facts. Okay, let's see exactly how they conclude this. Is that where the story ends? Not quite. Using the same data and statistical procedures as Feinberg et al., we replicated their study headline result. Since we did not have access to the original paper's data and code, this involved collecting each of the variables mentioned in the original paper and then independently performing the same analysis. Wherever possible, we copied the decisions that are mentioned in the original paper. Our headline results were very close to those reported in the original paper. Oh, it's interesting. So were they right? Were they right? Using additional data we collected, we also analyzed the effect of Hillary Clinton's campaign rallies. Using the identical statistical framework, the ostensible finding, Clinton rallies contribute to an even greater increase in hate incidents than Trump rallies. Certainly, this can't be true, right? Exactly. This should be enough to give any reader pause. The implied reasoning of those who cited the initial study was that Trump's caustic and seemingly racist rhetoric contributed to a crueler, more discriminatory climate, ripe for hate crimes. If this interpretation is correct, why did Clinton inspire as many, if not more, hate incidents as Trump did? Did calling millions of Americans deplorables promote violence? Well, yeah, but no, probably not. Both of these results rely on comparing counties with rallies to other counties without them. This produces a glaring problem. Politicians tend to hold political rallies near where large numbers of people live. And in places with more people, the raw number of crimes is generally mechanically higher. Simply put, no one should be surprised that Orange County, California was home to both more reported hate crimes and Trump rallies than Orange County, Indiana, which has 0. Yes, one has 3 million people, one has 19,000. Nor is it sensible to interpret that one of these differences is caused by the other political rallies. Indeed, adding a simple statistical control for county population to the original analysis causes the estimated effect of Trump rallies on reported hate incidents to become statistically indistinguishable from 0. The study is wrong, and yet journalists ran away with it. Well, this is what they do. There's so much fake. The media loves it when fake data comes out. They don't fact check the reports. They don't ask for proof. They just say, study was done. It's a fact. Welcome to the media in 2019. They say, how could this happen? Even if researchers attempt to be unbiased, it is easy for ideology to interfere with the practice of the scientific method. Empirical work requires numerous small assumptions and choices, often without obvious right and wrong opinions, that collectively affect the findings. The hypotheses that researchers choose to test often reflects their beliefs. And when initial statistical findings do not match the researcher's gut intuition, it is easy to tweak these choices until the analysis works. Recently, there was a study that claimed YouTubers in the intellectual dark web lead people to the alt-right and to the alt-right. The pipeline was proven, they say, by comments. Except here's the reality. The researchers started with a conclusion presented by the far left and worked backwards to prove it, and took channels that weren't even commentary channels, and claimed they were alt-light. For example, they claimed News to Share, a non-opinion channel, was alt-light. How does that make sense? They don't present opinions. It's just a news channel. What they did was they took their conclusion and then they fit the pieces to draw a line that didn't make sense. And then the left started waving their arms in the air going, woo, 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 because, oh, there's proof. The researchers prove it. Did you even look at the research? Did you even try to fact check one bit of it? It's a big problem we're facing, because look at this. The media runs wild with the narrative. Trump increasing hate crimes because you looked at Orange County versus a small town with no people in it. How does that make sense? And why do I have to rely on reason.com to do that fact checking? Why aren't journalists doing this? Well, actually, I'm sorry, Reason is doing the work. But why isn't Vox? Why isn't the Washington Post? Because they've gotten lazy. I'm gonna leave you with one thing. I want to keep these short, so I'm not gonna read through the whole thing, but I want to leave you with this. Eric Weinstein recently tweeted that, he said people talk about how media is driven by money. If that were true, they would investigate Epstein because that would result in a ton of money. You're wrong. Okay, this is not true. Here's the way I explain it. Go to an investor and say, I would like $100,000 to make a media company. And he's gonna say, what will you produce? We are going to use that money to investigate, a big corporation. They'll say, okay, and at the end of the year, what's my return? Or in 2 or 3 years. And the response is, honestly, we don't know because we don't know what the story will get us. It's entirely possible the investigation yields nothing, and the $100,000 you gave us disappears. The investor's going to say, that is a huge risk with no guarantee of a reward. I could invest in a building, and in a year, it will be worth more, presumably. Now, let's try this again. Someone goes to an investor and says, I want to start a media company. I need $100,000. The investor says, what will you produce? We're going to produce woke rage bait that is guaranteed to drive traffic every single day. At the end of the year, what will I have? You're going to have a ton of traffic because people love clicking woke rage bait. Here's the proof. And they're going to say, sounds good to me. And that's how the media operates. So are they going to do the groundwork to figure out if this is true or not? No. It's a headline. And so is this one. This is why I don't even know it's real, man. People say like, oh, I like watching your channel because, you're honest, whatever. But listen, I use the same sources. I do a little digging to try and fact check for sure. I'm very careful. But at the end, I just got to trust these channels. They're not lying. Sometimes they do. I'll leave it there. Stick around. Next segment will be tomorrow at 10 a.m. Podcast every day at 6:30 p.m. And I will see you all next time.